Hello, this is Bob Gray Sr. Welcome to Ministry Moments, Lord willing, every Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Go to Ministry Moments YouTube, Bob Gray Sr., and then subscribe. This way you can look at it at your leisure when you've got time, because you're busy, I'm busy, and I'll give you a chance to, at your own leisure, just take a look at. Okay, every week I try to give you something that I think will help and pointers, practical pointers, not sermons. Not, I love Jack Trieber's preaching the classics. People who have gone to heaven, great men of God. They ought to be listened to over and over again. You ought to read and reread their books over and over again. That's a great service that Brother Trieber is doing for fundamentalism, and I love it. I push it everywhere I go. I love. You talking about Mays Jackson. You're talking about Harold Seidler, whom preached for me, and what a great man! What a great man! And John Rice and Bill Rice and so on, Brother Hiles and Lester Roloff. Lester Roloff's last sermon he preached before he went to heaven was on Sunday morning at Longview Baptist Temple. If I had my life to live over again. Tremendous. So Miss Ida was there, secretary, sitting on the front row. And at lunch, I said to her, yeah, I saw you taking notes. You never heard that? So I said, I've never heard that sermon before. And he went to heaven on Tuesday morning. What a great man of God. Anyway, enough of that. You want preaching? Don't listen to your contemporaries. You listen to them, but you better take to heart what the great men of God of the past did. Okay, that's it. I'm going to talk to you today about the bus ministry. Can you tell by the picture in the back? The bus ministry. At our hike, we had 40 bus routes, and we had 200 to 250 workers every Saturday that went out and visited those routes. We had one route with 129 miles one way. It was amazing, just absolutely amazing. So let's talk about the bus ministry. Number one, I've got 65 points, 35 subpoints, 3 jokes, and 2 tear-jerking illustrations. Are you ready? Number one, it was a common denominator of the growing churches of the past. It was a common denominator of the growing churches of the past. Dr. Elma Towns wrote a book on the top 100 Sunday schools, and he focused on the top 10 in that list. What a tremendous uh, internal look at those great churches of that time. Now, in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, at Longview Baptist Temple, and up until 2009, was very aggressive in the bus ministry, and God blessed it. God blessed it, blessed it, blessed it. And all of those churches had bus ministries. Unfortunately, today when COVID hit, Sunday school was even shut down, and some have yet to even start Sunday school up again. Now, the bus ministry was a common denominator of the growing churches. It was not the only denominator, but it was a common denominator. And all the great churches at Brother House had over 200 buses, bus ministries, bus not divisions. He had several divisions, but bus routes. When my family and we were part of the first 4-year class at Miles Anderson. My wife was Dr. Evans' secretary. And wow, it was tremendous. And I remember getting in line. Jim Vineyard was the bus director. He was a Green Beret. Boy, he was tough as nails, too. What a great man. I love him. I love him. I love him. And I got in line back then at Miles Anderson. You had to work on a bus route all 4 years. You didn't be 1 year and then out. And I remember this big, long, white table, all these different ministries there. And as a freshman, I was in line because I had to sign up for bus ministry. That was one of the, you had to. So I was in line, was next, and then next, and then next, and then next. And the vendor never looked up at me. He just said, "What's your name?" I told him. He said, "All right, Bob Gray, you're in brand new division, D division. And you're going to be in D10. Larry Fazio is going to be your bus captain and the division leader. And so you'll be on that bus route." And I said, "Where is the route?" He said, "Joliet, Illinois." And stupid me. I've done a lot of stupid things in my day. But I said, uh, uh, "Joliet? Brother Vineyard, do you know how far Joliet is from here?" Oh my goodness, I should have never said that. he stood up, leaned into me with that green beret look, and I preached with him many times around the country and different bus ministries and different Bible conferences. I loved him. I loved him. I loved him. And he was a teddy bear, really. He loved the Lord. He was a soul winner. But anyway, I said, Joliet. And he leaned up like this. He leaned into me. Joliet, you think I don't know where the Joliet is? You think I just took it out of the air? And said, well, let's just start with a Joliet. You think I've ever been to Joliet? You think I've ever visited it? You think I've ever gone so it? And on and on and on. And I felt out that high. And I said, yes, Brother Mayor, I think you know where Joliet is. And I, sir, I'd be glad to be part of the D10. I loved it. And my family and I get as a family. That was one of the things I said. I want my family to go with me. And we packed up and went to Joliet, took our whole family and went soul winning there. And I loved it. Our first Sunday, by the way, in D division, we had 1,000 out of D division. You had A division, B, C, D, and so on. When the college got started, Brother Howes had to start these other Sunday schools in order to accommodate the crowds that were coming in. The A ministry only ran 20, 25 per bus. That was the heart of First Baptist Church in Hammond. Now, Jojo Moffat, Roy Moffat, there's something wrong with him. But they ran 100, but the average guy didn't. And the average Sunday school class, A Sunday school, was 20, 25. And several big classes, because you had a lot of souls saved, and they were just had no Sunday school class, so they were all converging on these large uh, classes, and thank God for them. It was a place for them, young converts, to go. But anyway, oh man, we loved it. We loved it. We won souls. We put people on the routes and worked. And I worked in a steel mill, and I had to work midnights, and so I'd visit and I'd go. Didn't get any sleep over the weekend at all. And I don't know where in the world they came up with this crazy idea about you don't have to work and just pray, spend time with God and become a great warrior. Well, it just doesn't work that way. But anyway, that was a big mistake. But man, we learned how to work. We learned how to, and I wasn't lazy. My parents were, they were great parents, but boy, they made us work. I bought my own clothes in high school, junior high and high school. I ran a paper out. I earned money. I bought my own clothes. I was taught to be self-sufficient. My wife, the same way. We were both poor. We come from the other side of the tracks, and I met her when she was 16. First person I ever led to Christ was my wife to be. At age 16, I didn't know back then. And Catholic family. And she got saved and got baptized. And oh, it caused World War III with her parents. She was the only child. They were Catholic. And oh, it didn't go over. My wife paid her price. And I remember my mom saying to me, boy, there's a girl right there. She got saved and she stood for God. And so on. That's somebody you ought to think about. Well, I was already thinking about her, but what a blessing. But I'll get back. Let me get back to the bus ministry. It was a common denominator for growing churches back in the '60s, the '70s, the '80s, and the '90s, and the early 2000s. I think we were the last of the Mohicans at that time with the bus ministry, and we had 15 uh, acres of land. We bought a beautiful, we could get probably 10 buses on the roof where they worked on our buses. And God blessed with he just took care of us, just took care of us. We could have spent that money on a lot of churches do spend that money on other things. I remember saying to Mrs. Ayers, my financial lady, one day, I said, why come we can't? She said, well, shut the buses down. We could do anything you wanted to do. We've got the money to do it. But I couldn't do that. My heart was with, it was a bus ministry when I was a kid. I'd have ridden the thing and poor as Job's turkey. But anyway, bus ministry, getting off target here. Bus ministry, it was a common denominator of the growing churches of the past. Now, my wife used to say, and she said it rightly, that if you don't know history, you can't make history. And she would say she was a history buff. And she said, history can repeat itself if we repeat it. What a great statement. What a great statement. All the books that I've written all went past her. And Wow, what a great mind she had. What a great mind. The body was terrible. The health was terrible. But anyway, but back to the bus ministry, get me on track. Number one, it was a common denominator of the growing churches of the past. So maybe we should learn from that. I know you quit Sunday school because of COVID and you listened to the government about all of that mess. And what did it get us? It just got us backslid. That's what it got. All right, number one, it was a common denominator of the growing churches of the past. Number two, you get what you emphasize. Truman Dollar, I went to his seminars back years and years ago. He was a BBF. He was very astute when it came to finances, and I have an accounting background. I'm a numbers guy. Something happened to me when I was a kid. It fell out of me, hit my head, and I've been a numbers guy ever since. I quantify everything that I try to qualify. But you get what you emphasize. And I remember him saying, okay, I remember traveling the country, and it was, what's your missions giving? What's your per capita giving? What is the bus ministry? Everything had a fad or a phase that we went through, and we seemed to copycat each other. And one of those was the per capita giving. One of them was missions. Thank God for missions. We gave $9.3 million to missions in the 30 years that I pastored at Longview Baptist Temple, Longview, Texas. And so all of that. But there was one thing that was back in those days predominant among all of the great churches of the past, and that was the bus ministry. Number two, you get what you emphasize. If you want to have the bus ministry alive, vibrant, getting the job done, okay, you get what you emphasize. Now, when I heard Truman Dollar, it was about money, per capita giving, and campaigns and stewardship and all of that. And I loved every minute of it and employed a lot of it. But souls got stuck in my head. I thought, man, if that be true, and then I got to remembering back some of the churches I preached in, some smaller churches. And I remember being at one Tennessee Temple Grads church in Tennessee, Dyersburg, Tennessee. He was running about 60, 65, 70, but he wanted to get the soul winning going. But anyway, I asked him about his church, this, that, and the other, and I asked him about missions. He said, "Oh, we gave $100,000 to it." Now back then, man, you're talking about $100,000. Translated into today's money, that was a lot of money. And I said, "This little church?" I said, "How did you do that?" And here's what he said to me: "There's a hell, Brother Gray. There's a hell." And I'd say to my people, "If you don't want anybody to go to hell, you better give to the missions." I said, "That's it. That's it." And I got to thinking to myself, why can't I use that for soul winning? And so every Wednesday night, 33 years I pastored, I'd have people stand up. "You go with me tomorrow." I'm going tomorrow night, Thursday night, church-wide, big push. I'll talk about that in one of our ministry moments. Emphasis on one big church soul winning night. Anyway, I would say there's a hell, and you want to help me? I'm going tomorrow night. I'm gonna keep someone out of hell. Even if my silent partner got to get saved again. I said, "But I'm going to do that now. If you want to help me, there is a hell." And boy, did they respond. You get what you emphasize. Ooh, I'm stretching this thing out. I didn't mean to. Talking about the bus ministry, it was a common denominator of the growing church. Maybe we should learn from that. Maybe it's because we don't emphasize it that we don't get it. Number two, you get what you emphasize. Number three, read and reread books of successful bus ministries. Jim Vineyard was my mentor. Jim Vineyard was my man of the hour when it came to the bus ministry. I remember working at Fisher Valley Division, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Louis Oliveira, and there were a few of us Christians there, and Louis Oliveira, Spanish convert there, and he told me about Jim Vineyard holding a bus conference at Faith Baptist Church in Mattawan, Michigan. And I said, "Bus ministry, what are you talking about? I know we use buses for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, but what? Sunday?" I'd never heard of it. So I went, sat on the front row. Big mistake. Brother Vineyard abused me and used me and pinched me. I was black and blue all over my arm. But wow. Anyway, 3 hours of intense push and preaching and teaching on the bus ministry. And I was stuck in a front row and couldn't get out. And then he brought me to the platform. I mean, he tore a chair up that night. He, he took a door off the hinge. I'll never forget it. But anyway, I got his books. I got the cassette tapes. I got the cassette tapes. I got the books. He introduced me to Wally Beebe. Later on in Bourbonnais, Illinois, I pastored Wally Beebe's father-in-law and mother-in-law. And I had the honor of having Wally Beebe come in and preach to us about the bus ministry. We had 40 drive in, 50 on two buses, but 50 on both buses. And 90, average about 90 to 100 every Sunday. But I had Wally Beebe come in. Oh, what a wealth of information. I would go to his national bus conference in Florida, and wow, what a great man. Ray Young. Anything you can get by Jojo and Roy Moffett, get your hands on it. Jeff Fugate I'll talk about that in just a moment. But anywhere where they've had a successful bus ministry, read and reread their books. And if you're fortunate enough to get a hold of some of their preaching and teaching, especially with Jim Baker, it will motivate you. We're talking about the bus ministry now. I know people have gotten out of it, they've gotten away from it, but it's a mistake. We've got to get back to it again. Steve Reeves is doing a great job with Colorado. Yeah, Colorado. What a great, and just what a great emphasis that they have on it. They keep it alive too. Okay, bus ministry. Number one, it was a common denominator of the great churches of the past, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even in the 2000s. And at that time, I think Walpi Baptist Temple was probably the last of the Mohicans when it came to aggressive bus ministry. We loved it. Our people loved it. Number two, you get what you emphasize. Get that stuck in your head. You get what you emphasize. So, Pastor, you get the pulpit, emphasize it. Put a pressure point on it. Bring it up. Use soul winning stories. Use honor bus captains and bus divisions. We had A division, B and C and D, because I learned that from Brother Hiles at First Baptist Church of Hammond. All right, number three, read and reread books of successful bus ministry. Jim Vineyard, Wally Beebe, Ray Young. Number four, attend bus conferences. I'm not sure. Bob Robertson's church still has it. I think it's at Brother Fugate's now. But attend bus conferences. Pastor Reeves, Steve Reeves, a great church on the bus ministry. And you can learn so much from him and his dear people. And then Pastor Fugate, thank God he's kept it alive and kept it going. He's not let it die. Kudos to you, Dr. Fugate. All right, we're talking about the bus ministry. Number one, it was a common denominator of the great churches of the past, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. We need to revisit history to make history. We need to let history repeat itself. Sunday schools, COVID came and people abandoned Sunday school. Well, the churches that didn't are vibrant. Dr. Alan Donnelly in Bethany, Oklahoma, just outside Oklahoma City. Oh my goodness. Took a church runner. I preached there for years with him when he was in evangelism. And now it got a new auditorium. Bus ministries alive. Wow. And running 700 and baptizing every week of the world. And because of the impact that the bus ministry has. So we're talking about the bus. Well, I'm really elongating this thing. All right. Number one, it was a great common denominator of the growing church in the past. Number two, you get what you emphasize. Get that stuck in your head. Emphasize it. You'll get what you emphasize. Number three, read and reread books of successful bus ministries. Jim Vineyard, Wally Beebe, Ray Young. Number four, attend bus conferences. Take your bus captains. Go to these conferences and learn. Let them teach you the practicalities of tab A, slot B, the function of it and how it works. No form, no filling. You've got to learn that great truth. All right. I said, number one, it was a common denominator of the great churches, growing churches in the past. Number two, you get what you emphasize. So emphasize it. Number three, read and reread books of successful bus ministry. Number four, attend bus conferences of the right kind. Now, some guys I wouldn't walk across the street to hear me even silent prayer. Number five, Reach the innocent before the world gets to them. Reach the innocent. Reach the innocent is so important. I have a sermon, Why Win Children of Christ. You ought to get it, listen to it. But reach the innocent before the world gets to them. Number 6. And by the way, the Bible talks about good ground. The world, the seed got swallowed up by the world. But there's a little statement there about good ground. The young people, the innocent, that's good ground. And that seed will take hold. But you've got to get to them before the world gets to them. You get to them before age 12. If you can get to them, love on them. And by the way, you need to get these books on the bus ministry so you know the practical aspect of the teaching that goes on to church and Bolton Church. And so a lot of the how-tos that really are important. That's why these bus conferences are so important. You get ideas. All right? Bus ministry, no one. It was a common denominator of the growing churches of the past. If it happened once, it can happen again. Number 2, you get what you emphasize. You have the pulpit. You have the microphone. Emphasize the right things. Number 3, read and reread books of successful bus ministries. Jim Vineyard's my number 1. Wally Beebe and Ray Young. Number 4, attend bus conferences. Number 5, reach the innocent. Number 6, have your own bus conference. Bring in one of these men, if you can find them, that has a successful bus minister. Bring Steve Reeves in, let Pastor Reeves, let him bring Brother Fugate in. Let them, and just say, look, I want bus ministry. That's what I want. I want the bus ministry. Sergio Ali, Bayshore, New York, a church that built on soul winning, but he has a strong bus ministry. Bring Brother Ali in, Sergio Ali, A-L-I, from Costa Rica. And he's the one that's keeping my soul winning clinics alive in Mexico, Central and South America. But have him in to preach. Number 7, organize geographically. Go start out with 20 miles, 40, 60, 80, 100. I call it Operation Saturation. I had 14 routes in the Longview area. That was 20 miles. But once we saturated, then I would start at B Sunday School. 40, 60, 80. You follow me? 100. You say, oh, the kids aren't going to ride 100. Are you crazy? If you love on them, you reach them with the gospel. Ask some of the delegates that came to our soul winning clinic that went out on some of these routes that were 100 miles out. And the kids saying, are you coming after me tonight? I could come tonight, right? I can come. Are you going to pick me up tonight? Ask those delegates. You don't have to believe me. Just ask those delegates. Ask Darrell Cox. Ask Brother Stoddard at East Hartford, Connecticut. Ask those men that came and saw it, and kids begging to come back. Oh, I just can't tell you how electrifying it was for the Holy Spirit of God. Right? All right. Talk about the bus ministry. Number 1, a common denominator, the growing church of the past. Number 2, you get what you emphasize, so emphasize it. Number 3, read and reread books of successful, but get it into your mind, get it into your memory bank. Number 4, attend bus conferences. Take your bus captains with you. Number 5, reach the innocent before the world does. Number 6, have your own bus conference. And award the top bus route of the year or the whatever. Come up with something. Surely you can, your noggin can think of something. But have a bus conference and have somebody come in like Brother Ali or like Brother Stoddard or like Steve Reeves or Brother Fugate. But have your own bus conference. 7, organize geographically. Number 8, this is the last point. Honor bus captains and bus routes. Keep it in front of the people. Keep it in front of the people. And boy, do you have those special stories. Children getting saved. We had 6 kids die off of our bus route in one 18-month period. We had some that were burned to death in a Christmas fire, tree caught on fire. The fire chief called and said, the neighbors say that you picked up children here. We'd like to know how many are in that house. and we got our records and gave it to him. Stephen Fiango, 8 years of age, pit bulldog. Couldn't tell he was human. But the local news covered it. And Brother Bowen did the funeral. He was the bus director. And he tells the story about Stephen Fiango, trusting Christ. Boy, it was powerful. And boy, we had a lot of people saved after that. But we honored bus captain and bus routes. And at the end of the year, have a Hall of Fame. Come up with something. Use your noggin. Use your noodle. Come up with some way to honor and to these bus captains, these bus divisions, and so on. Keep it alive in front of the people. While we're talking about the bus ministry, number one, a common denominator of the growing churches in the past. Just because it's not here now doesn't mean it can't be here tomorrow. You can get it done. Number two, you get what you emphasize. Keep it in front of the people if you want to get it alive and keep it alive. And I promise you, what a great ministry. Number three, read and reread books of successful bus ministries. Jim Vineyard, Wally Beebe, Ray Young. Number four, attend bus conferences. Take your bus captains, take your workers, so that they can hear other testimonies and be encouraged themselves. Number five, reach the innocent before the world gets to them. Got to get to them before age 12. That good crown, that good crown, that good crown. Number six, have your own bus conference. Number seven, organize geographically. Start out 20 miles and then go 40 and 60 to 80 to 100. And once we did that, you know what we did? We came back, started at 20 over again, 40, 60, 80, and so on. Number eight, last point, have bus captains, honor bus captains and bus routes. Have a bus banquet every year and then honor them. Bus captain of the year. Some way or another, figure out a way. If you're, it takes work. It's not easy. It takes money. It takes energy. But please understand, because a child is easier to win does not make them any less saved. No. Moody said he went out sold, he come back, said 2.5 slaves. So I said, oh, 2 adults and 1 child. He said, no, I had 2 children and 1 adult. Think about that. Talking about the bus ministry. Tomorrow's soul winning. Let's go soul winning tomorrow. Let's win people to Christ, line them up for Sunday. God bless you. I hope you take good notes because it may be a blessing to you. It may come back and be a help to you. God bless you. See you next week.